First book, Ink-Stained Amazons and Cinematic Warriors, is a history and a thematic look at female super and action heroes, and was awarded a place on the 2011 Amelia Bloomer Project list. Because someone will inevitably say, you did not talk about my favorite character, we want to acknowledge up front that there are a lot of characters we could have talked about today, but since we only have an hour with you all, we wanted to focus on our favorites. Hopefully along the way, we'll introduce you to something thrilling in the history of Spy-Fi Sheroes, and afterwards we should have time for a short Q&A. Trina's going to start in the 1940s, and I'll join her somewhere in the 1960s, and I'm going to switch places and let Trina take it away. So thank you.
I have to tell you that I haven't seen this. I put it together, but then I sent it to Jen, and she and her brilliant husband put it together for me, added lots of bells and whistles. I also want to add that the woman who is sitting over here is Cynthia Martin, and she is the artist on Honey West, which will be discussed later. Okay. I'm told if I push this, oh, look at that. Okay. Almost 70 years before today's top-heavy, spandex-clad superheroines. And this is all just from 1 month's worth of DC Comics, by the way. But 70 years before that, action heroines were fighting bad guys in the pages of America's comic books and comic strips. They didn't have superpowers, but they were fully clothed in great clothes. And some of the best of them were drawn by women. This is Lily Renee Wilhelm. She came to New York from Europe as a teenage refugee during World War II and eventually found work drawing comics for Fiction House Comics. During the war, when many of the male cartoonists were overseas in the military, the comic book publishers, like so many other industries, hired more women than ever before. And the publisher that employed the most women were Fiction House Comics. And this is Lily at work at Fiction House Comics. We're very happy to have this photo. Lily drew many of their titles, signing her work L. Renee, so that she received fan mail addressed to Mr. L. Renee. Some of the titles: The Lost World, a post-apocalyptic science fiction series, and, whoops, not yet, go back. What happened? Back, I say. It's not going back. How do I get it to go back? No, see, it's not. No, back. There, Werewolf Hunter, thank you so much. Werewolf Hunter, a series of supernatural stories. But what Lily became the best known for, has become the best known for today, is Senorita Rio. Rio is a Brazilian nightclub entertainer who actually works as a spy for the Secret Service, fighting Nazis in Brazil. And this gives her a chance to wear classy 1940s-style suits, and also some pretty great Carmen Miranda-style nightclub get-ups. As you can see, a stylish evening gown doesn't keep her from fighting bad guys. And in this great cover, we see Rio is also adept with the use of a sword. And look at the guy she's rescuing in the background. See, will she win the fight in time to keep him from slipping off the roof? Oh, can I have my water? This is your water. I can tell because yours isn't open yet. This is Tarpe Mills and her white Persian cat, Peri Purr. And this is Tarpe Mills' creation, Miss Fury, and her white Persian cat, Peri Purr. Yes, Mills put her own cat into the strip. If you look at the photo again, if I do this, will it go back? Nope, it doesn't go back. Make it go back. I want the photo again. Yes, yes. Yes, if you look at the photo again, you will see that she also put herself into the strip because Marla Drake, a.k.a. Ms. Fury, was a dead ringer for her creator. Look. So this is a really interesting case of a woman who, you fantasize being an action heroine, you draw the comic, and you're the action heroine. We can play God. I like that. Okay, Miss Fury did wear a costume. A form-fitting panther skin that supposedly carried with it a curse for the wearer. And in the case of Miss Fury, the curse consisted of 10 years' worth of adventures in America's newspapers. But Miss Fury rarely wore her costume. And for the most part, she dressed like Rio in stylish 1940s fashions, like this chic suit with matching hat, purse, and gloves. Like Rio, though, Miss Fury was a true action heroine. Here we see her in costume, rescuing a little boy from a mad scientist who wants to use the child as a guinea pig for his fiendish experiments. And by the way, after rescuing the boy, Miss Fury, as Marla Drake, adopts him, making her the first action heroine mother in comics. But out of costume, in a stylish dress or red evening gown, she was perfectly capable of taking care of herself. Not only against men, but against some of the most vicious villainesses in comics. This is Marla's nemesis, the beautiful but evil Baroness Erica von Kampf. And there goes Jen's name tag. Sorry. Okay, we're going to move forward in time to 1959 and the creation of Honey West. Honey West was the first female private eye in books. No, Miss Marple doesn't count because she wasn't a private eye. Written under the pseudonym Gigi Fickling by the husband and wife team of Forrest and Gloria Fickling, shown here in the mid-60s with Anne Francis, who played her on TV. Honey was conceived of as a female answer to Mickey Spillane's Mike Hammer, and the series of books were pulpy and sexy in a tame 1960s way. Honey lost her blouse a lot, but she never slept with anyone. To those of us who watched Honey West on TV and in 1965 and 66, the sultry Anne Francis was a refreshing change from all those TV shows and movies of the period with male leads. Honey held her own very nicely against James Bond, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Secret Serviceman, and others, and she was prettier.
Believe it or not, this is a private detective. The name? Honey West.
Honey West, be smart, stay alive, forget about Selby.
This is her partner, Sam Bolt. Sam worries a lot.
Yes, a real blade man. He's trying hard to make the top 10, 5 jobs in 2 weeks, and all celebrities.
Really, it sounds like he's right out of James Bond.
Don't let her looks fool you. As a detective, Honey aims to please. And who can argue with a perfect 38? Caliber, that is. Remember Friday, September 17th. Don't miss the premiere of Honey West, the private eye that criminals flip over on ABC.
So, you can see that little Moonstone logo up on the right. There's Anne, by the way, beautiful Anne Francis. Last year, Moonstone got the rights to produce Honey West comic books. And I was unfortunate enough to script the first 2 issues of Honey, which was gorgeously drawn by Cynthia Martin, who I've already introduced you to over there. Cynthia's Honey looked just like Anne Francis and included Bruce the Ocelot, my favorite sidekick from the TV show. Bruce is not in the books, by the way. I kept more from the TV show in my script than just Bruce. Honey on the show uses judo against the bad guys. And so does the honey of my comic book. But when the book was published and I reread it, I realized that much of my Honey West script had been influenced by Tarpe Mills's 1940 strip, Miss Fury, which does not surprise me, because not only is Miss Fury one of my favorite strips, excuse me, but I've been putting together a collection of Miss Fury strips, which will be published in late spring by IDW. Look for it, it's going to be great. And, you know, I mean, this is a strip that no one has seen, and you'll be able to read like 5 years' worth of the adventures of Miss Fury. Okay, so the Miss Fury strip, as you probably already noticed, was quite risque and daring for its day. It's daring for this day. Can you imagine a newspaper strip with this bathtub scene in today's paper? So Tarpe Mills gives her readers this sexy bathtub scene, and I gave Honey a shower scene. Tarpe Mills was also the queen of the comic strip Catfights. In this sequence, Marla fights a woman who is her double and has kidnapped her and tried to take her place. So I threw a catfight into my Miss Fury comic. By the way, in this story, Honey has gone underground as a go-go dancer to solve a murder, thus the costumes. And let us not forget Miss Fury's and Tarpe Mills's cat, Perry Purr. The little guy is more than a pretty face. And here he saves Marla Drake from a bad guy who's about to shoot her by jumping on the head of the bad guy and sinking in his claws. And so does Bruce the Ocelot in my Honey West comic. And this is my cat. I learned from Tarpe Mills, if she could put her cat into her comic strip, I can put my cat into all my PowerPoint shows. His name, by the way, is Winston because of his remarkable resemblance to Winston Churchill. Okay, back to Honey. Moonstone is publishing a 3-part Honey West comic written and drawn by other creators, and after that will come another 2-parter by me, this time illustrated by an excellent Argentinian artist. There's Honey again with Bruce. That guy who's walking in who looks like Robin Hood is because in this story Honey goes undercover as a costume worker in a Renaissance fair. But because I'm still under the spell of Tarpe Mills, I wrote in another cat fight. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. But the message of this presentation is not cat fights, although they are fun to write. What I'm saying here is that there was a time when women could be brave and strong heroines, but they didn't have to dress or undress in tacky spandex. They could and did win against the forces of evil, gloriously dressed, like Senorita Rio, Miss Fury, and Honey West. Thank you. And next